They thought humans were a backwater species, slow to advance, limited in technology, and easy to dismiss. But when the Horizon's Wrath appeared in the Krell sector, they realized just how wrong they were. Galactic leaders panicked. Humans weren't supposed to have ships like that. The Interstellar Council chamber was filled with the galaxy's most powerful leaders. Each represented a vast empire, clan, or federation, and all shared the same unease as the holographic image flickered above the polished obsidian table. The ship was enormous, larger than any dreadnought in the fleet of the Volari Dominion or the drone clans. Sleek but brutal, bristling with weapon turrets and energy shielding that shimmered like liquid light. It defied every known classification of spacecraft. High Chancellor Varn of the Volari Dominion leaned forward, his reptilian eyes narrowing. This cannot be human. No civilization from Earth's sector has ever developed technology remotely close to this. Are we certain of the origin? Admiral Solis, Earth's Federation liaison, cleared his throat and said cautiously, "It's confirmed by multiple sources, Chancellor. The ship's design matches Earth's known engineering signatures. This is the Horizon's Wrath, a human battleship." A low murmur rippled through the chamber. Some whispered in disbelief. Others clenched their fists, tasting the sudden sharp fear that had settled in the room. Ambassador Dren from the drone clans slammed a clawed hand on the table. Humans are supposed to be backward, primitive. Their ships were small, uncoordinated. How did they develop this? What is their intent? Intent doesn't matter, snapped General Mkara of the Jairer Collective. Presence like this changes everything. The fragile peace we've maintained across the outer sectors is at risk. The Horizon's Wrath had entered the Krell sector 2 days ago. Sensors from multiple patrol ships picked it up almost simultaneously, but attempts to intercept or communicate were met with silence. Or worse, overwhelming firepower. The Krellian Defense Fleet, once proud and feared, had been forced to retreat after suffering heavy damage. No other species had dared challenge the humans so directly. On board the Horizon's Wrath, Captain Elena Voss surveyed the bridge. The ship hummed with power, its massive engines glowing with a blue-white energy signature that outmatched any known propulsion system. "Status report," she demanded. "Shields at maximum capacity. Weapons systems fully operational. No signs of immediate hostiles nearby," her tactical officer replied. Elena's eyes scanned the holomap projected above the command console. The Krell sector was strategically vital, a crossroads between major trade routes and contested territories. Humanity's presence here was no accident. Communications array, attempt to broadcast to all sectors. "Send a message, humans have arrived." Her voice was cold but calm. "We don't want war, but we're ready for it." Back in the council chamber, tensions rose as factions debated the next move. Some wanted to send a fleet to attack the human ship, fearing their unknown capabilities. Others advocated for diplomacy, hoping to avoid a conflict that could ignite a galaxy-wide war. Earth was supposed to be a backwater, whispered Chancellor Varn again, more to himself than anyone else. They were supposed to remain isolated. But Earth was no longer isolated. The wars on their home planet, the near-extinction events, and the brutal tests of survival had forged humanity into something else entirely, something more dangerous, more resilient. "Humans fight dirty," Solis added quietly. "Their technology isn't just advanced. It's adaptive. They learn fast. They don't follow our rules." The council erupted into chaos, voices shouting over one another, factions accusing, fearing, planning. Meanwhile, Elena Voss paced the Horizon's Wrath bridge. She remembered the countless battles on Earth, the bloodshed, the losses. This ship was the culmination of humanity's survival instinct, a fortress to protect their future, and a warning to any who might threaten it. "Captain," her communications officer interrupted, "we have an incoming signal from the Galactic Council." Elena signaled to open the channel. A shimmering figure appeared on the main holoscreen, a representative of the Volari Dominion. "Captain Voss, this is Chancellor Varn," the reptilian figure said, voice tense but measured. "Your presence here is unexpected. We ask you to explain your intentions." Elena squared her shoulders and replied firmly, "We come in peace to explore and negotiate. But make no mistake, Earth will defend itself if provoked." The Chancellor's eyes narrowed, but there was a flicker of respect. "Very well. We shall discuss this carefully. The channel closed. Elena exhaled, knowing this was only the beginning. Over the following days, Horizon's wrath became the focal point of galactic attention. Other powers sent emissaries, spies, and even warships to gauge humanity's true strength. Each encounter revealed more about the human resolve, unyielding, fearless, and utterly unlike any other species. In one tense standoff, a squadron of drone fighters attempted to blockade the Horizon's wrath. The humans didn't shoot first, but when one fighter strayed too close, the Horizon's wrath unleashed a precision strike that disabled it without loss of life. The message was clear: humans could dominate a fight without needless slaughter. Slowly, the Council's fear evolved into cautious respect. Humans were no longer the galaxy's forgotten underdogs. They were a rising power, unpredictable and formidable. In a historic summit held aboard the Horizon's wrath, Elena stood before representatives of every major faction. Her voice echoed through the chamber as she laid out humanity's vision: peace through strength, cooperation through mutual respect, and a future where no species would be forced to live in fear. The leaders listened. Some scoffed, others pondered, but all understood the truth. Humanity's arrival was a turning point. Galactic leaders panicked because they weren't prepared for this. Humans weren't supposed to have ships like that. But now that they did, the galaxy would never be the same. Elena looked out the viewport at the endless stars beyond, feeling the weight of history pressing down on her. The Horizon's wrath was more than a ship. It was humanity's hope, its warning, and its promise. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity had arrived.